evening and welcome everyone. It's Gina K and I'd like to welcome everybody here to Stampin' Chat Live. We are really excited to be back. It seems like it's been forever, right, Tom?
It seems like it has.
Yes,
great to be back.
It is. It's so much fun to see all of you guys tonight. I have some fun in store for you tonight. We're going to be doing a grayscale card. That's really fun. I don't know if you guys have tried that. We did a black and white card a while ago, but this one's going to be a little more grayscale, and we're going to be playing with a little bit of bubble wrap too. So for those of you who haven't seen this technique, it's so easy and so much fun. I think you're really going to like it. So I see everybody coming in from all over the country and all over the world, all over the United States, all over the world. Great to see you. Yes, thank you very much. I did. For those of you who don't know, the reason why I wasn't here on Thursday last week is I actually got a chance to go and visit my friends. So I had a crafty girls weekend with my friends Jennifer McGuire, Christina Warner, Heidi Crowell, and Kathy Rakusin. And we all went to Kathy's house and we had a couple of really nice relaxing days together, just talking and just doing some fun stuff around the kitchen table crafting and coffee talk. So it was really great. And it's always great to get back home though and be with you guys again. I certainly missed you. It's always weird to not do those two lives. I always feel like I'm missing something. So it's so great to see you. Now, just a little thing for those of you that are on YouTube. Maybe you didn't hear about this or you didn't see it, but Jennifer and I did a voiceover for Christina Werner's latest YouTube video, and it was actually really fun. Christina does a segment called mail art, and what she does is she decorates an envelope on the outside. And when I say she decorates it, like not like me where you just stamp something on it and maybe you put a little colored pencil, she makes, it's like a card on the outside. It's beautiful. And then she hand letters the address and you get to see her do that. So she had to do a voiceover and Jennifer and I were like, hey, maybe we can help. So Jennifer and I shared a half a glass of wine and we we did the voiceover. So check out Christina Werner's channel. You could search Christina Werner. It's WERNER, or search Star of May. That is her YouTube handle, I believe, Star of May. And you'll get a couple good laughs out of that, I'm sure. I was my crazy self, so, you know, that never ends well.
Fruit salad.
Oh, what's that?
Fruit salad.
Yeah, fruit salad. We actually shared a fruit salad. It was great. So I'm so glad to see all of you tonight. Now let me show you what stamp set we're going to use tonight for the video. What we're going to do is we're going to use this stamp set. This is by Arjita Singh. I have used this stamp set before in a live video, and you guys know that I love to try to use stamp sets more than once for you. This way you have more card ideas. So I had used this stamp set way back in a live where I used rubber bands to make a plaid background. And I'm going to use these stamps again. It also has a die set that coordinates with it, and I'll be using that tonight as well. Now, in my last card that I did with this set, it was bright and turquoise and bright lime green and very vibrant. This card is going to be a little bit different. What I like about the technique that I'm going to try to attempt tonight is I think it makes a really great peaceful card. It's also great for a sympathy card or just one of those cards where you are just wanting to tamp down the color a little bit. So I think you're going to like it, and it's something maybe that you haven't tried before. All right, so before we get started with the stamp set, I know you guys all have this bubble wrap, right? You get pieces of bubble wrap when you order from Gina K Designs because our team likes to bubble wrap everything. And honestly, I think that they would bubble wrap me into my chair if I sat still long enough. They love the bubble wrap, and the bubble wrap has a sticky background, which really holds everything in place. If you've ever ordered anything from Gina K Designs and it gets caught out in the rain, you might have a little bit of a panic attack, but when you open it up, it's all encased in this bubble wrap, and things generally don't get ruined because of it. It's very nice. So what I'm going to do is I have a piece of white cardstock here, and because we're working in grayscale, I thought that I would use a gray background for this. But the color that I'm going to use for my card base is, boy, my counter's gray. This is like watching an old black and white movie, Tom.
This was a grayscale day.
It is, really. It was kind of gray here today, too. So this is what I'm thinking. I'm holding white behind it so you can see it. But I'm going to use some of the Stormy Sky cardstock as my card base. So I don't think I'm going to use Stormy Sky for this background. Maybe I should. Do you think I should? Oh, why not? Let's give it a try. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend that this bubble wrap is a stamp. And I'm going to ink it up really well with my ink pad. Now, bubble wrap's super fun because it's, you know, it's dots, but it's got all this squishy parts in there. So it really, you know, it really has a cool texture. You got to try different parts of your bubble wrap because don't let your kids near it, or if you're one of those people that likes to pop the bubble wrap, this isn't going to work very well. You can't use popped bubble wrap. It has to still have air in it. And I'm putting a lot of pressure on this piece of cardstock because some of the bubbles are a little higher than others, and you want to make sure that you really get the paper to make contact. All right, so there is my background. Isn't that fun? Oh, I love that. It's really, really fun. So I'm going to just put this aside because we're going to use this a little bit later. And then I clean my bubble wrap just like it was a rubber stamp. And this is the same piece of bubble wrap I used last time. Ooh, that's squeaky. Sorry if that hurt anybody's ears. And then I just...
I'll be okay.
You'll be... Sorry, Tom. He's wearing headphones. I'm sure that was very loud. Sorry about that. So... we have our bubble wrap. You can see this little piece here didn't transfer. Sorry. But I'm going to end up cutting this out with probably this die. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. We're just going to cut that out. So I just need a small piece of it. All right. So that was Stormy Sky. I think I'm going to do one more with the bubble wrap while you guys are here. I'm going to do a soft stone, and we'll cut them out and we'll see which one looks better because honestly, that Stormy Sky is scaring me a little bit that it might be too dark for what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so we've got some soft stone here, and I'm going to do the same thing. And I know I was talking when I actually did the action of stamping, so I'll explain it a little bit better this time. So I have a 1/4 sheet of white cardstock here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay the cardstock down onto the bubble wrap, and then I'm going to put another piece of cardstock on top. And then I'm going to rub over, making sure that I get as much contact as possible with all of the bubbles. You guys have Stormy Skies there too. Woo-hoo. You got to try this with the big bubble wrap too. I don't know that we use the big bubble wrap as much as we used to. But there's also bigger bubble wrap. Of course, that might be better for a scrapbook page than for a card. Okay, so this is a little more eye-appealing to me than this. It's a little softer. But once they both dry, because our ink, you know, it's wet and it takes a little bit to dry. And once it dries up to the color of the cardstock. We'll see which one we like better. Okay, Tom, I'm going to squeak again. Get your ears ready.
Okay, ready.
All right. All right, there we go. So that's all cleaned off. I cleaned it up with my tidy towel. What's that?
When you rip it off, it's 10 times worse than the...
Oh, sorry. I didn't think about that either. Oh, well. You okay over there? Okay.
You don't have much hearing left.
So now our next step is going to be to stamp these flowers and leaves. Well, I'm glad you like that technique. It's pretty fun, huh? Makes a really fun background. You can also do rainbow ones. I've done these in other videos, but we always have new viewers and new stampers, so it's always fun to break out the old techniques and to also remind those of us that are kind of inundated with different technique videos. Don't forget the oldies but goodies. Sometimes they're easy, quick, and, you know, make a great card. So I'm going to use this big flower design. We'll start with this one. And I'm going to put it on my big acrylic block here. And I'm going to stamp it in black ink. I know, right, Marilyn? I'm laughing while I'm apologizing for making Tom's ears bleed. That's just who I am. I'll never forget one time Tom walked into a cabinet door. Oh, the sound that it made. I was trying so hard to be sympathetic and make sure he was okay, but I was laughing so hard.
That lump has not gone down at
In
all.
20 years. Okay, so now I'm going to stamp some leaves too. So this set has 2 different sets of leaves, and I'm going to stamp both of them. I'm going to stamp them at the same time too. Why not? And I think I'm actually going to stamp 3 of the leaves, not 3 sets. I got to clean that. You see that little goober right there? I don't know what that is, so I'm going to clean it.
What is that stamp set again?
Again, this one is called Heartfelt Bouquet. It's by Argita. And it does have this large image that Argita is known for, her large images that take almost a whole card front. But then it's got the single flower and the leaves, and it's got dies for the single flower and the leaves. I really like this one. Plus, I like all the sayings in there, so I'm going to definitely use some of the sayings tonight in my card. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And then I'm going to pick one of these leaves. I think I'll use the one with a few less leaves, since I am going to be coloring these.
Krista wants to know if I can stand the sound of crinkling chip bags.
Oh, can you, Tom?
Yeah, I can if I'm eating out of them. Otherwise, no.
Yeah, no, it bothers you. So there's this thing called ASMR. I don't know if you've heard of that, where they make certain sounds like the crinkling of chip bags and stuff that people really like the sound, and it's calming and relaxing to them. I don't know, not to me. Some people have misophonia, and they have an aversion to a lot of sounds. That's actually a thing. It has a name. Okay. Now, for pencils, for colored pencils for this, let's zoom in a little bit. This is like informative night here. Yes, you're right. Okay, so I'm zooming in a little bit closer. I'm going to show you 3 different colored pencils that I was looking at lately or tonight that I thought would be good colors for this. I have 50% warm gray, 70% warm gray, and black. But you know what? I'm just going to use black. I'm not going to use any of these grays because I think the gray is actually going to gray out too light. Gray out, to gray out. It's an action word. So I think it's going to be too light, and I don't want it to be too light. So I'm going to go with black, and then I can blend it out to as light of a gray as I want. Now, another thing I wanted to show you guys tonight. Oops, sorry, my head's in the way, but I really wanted to show this to you. Let me get a dark piece of paper so you can see this better. Okay, this is a brand new blending stump. And I know a lot of you guys get these brand new blending stumps and you dip them right into your Gamsol and they don't work very well, and it's very frustrating. I want to show you, can you see the tip of this, how it's not really perfect? It looks like it's twisted on the top. Some of them are worse than others. Like, look at this one. Can you guys see that? That's kind of a mess on the top, right? So it's what happens when they, they press all of this paper into place and you get this kind of raw edge on the top there. What you should do is you should take either, this is actually a tool, a sandpaper tool that's made for this. But if you don't have this, don't worry about getting it. Just get a nail file. You can do this with a nail file too. Not a super rough one, but a medium nail file. And what you're going to do is you're going to file the tip of your blending stump to get it prepped. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to file and I'm going to turn the blending stump each time I file. And ultimately that thing is going to fall off. We want to get rid of that. The other thing that we're doing is we're increasing the porosity of the blending stump. I can pull that off if it's, but we're increasing the porosity of the blending stump. And what that means is the blending stump's going to be more porous and it's going to suck in more Gamsol. And we're making a nice fine point on it. So you see how much better that looks? So that's what you want to do when you get new blending stumps. You want to file them a little bit to increase the porosity so they'll grab more Gamsol. And you want to get rid of all that frayed stuff because that doesn't give you a lot of control. It's all like blah, all over the place. Will I be selling these blending stumps? You know, I really should. I really should sell them because a lot of people have been asking for the ones that I use. And I will look into it again and see if we can get them again. I like the Creative Mark ones. They're my favorite ones. And my favorite size is a number 2. So let me see what I can do if I can get some more. Now, I'm going to be using Gamsol tonight. This is the Gamsol I use. It's Gamblin Gamsol. Gamsol is an odorless mineral spirit. If you don't want to use Gamsol, you can also pick up lavender spike oil. This is very similar. It's more natural. But I do really like the Gamsol. And if you can use the Gamsol, use the Gamsol. If you can't for, a medical reason or you're allergic or something like that, then try the lavender spike oil. So I put a little extra in my cup there. And I am ready now. I've got my blending stump and I've got everything that I need. I used our regular dye ink for stamping this, but you can also use our amalgam ink. Okay, so you can see I've got my Prismacolor pencil sharpened to a super sharp point. And I did that using this pencil sharpener. This is the iPoint Orbit pencil sharpener. And if you guys are looking for any of these products, you can go over to our website, GinaKDesigns.com, and you can click on the About Us. There's an About tab at the top. It says About, like about our company and about us. And if there'll be a drop down, and at the very bottom, it says Things I Love. I think it says Things I Love or Things I Like, but they're really Things I Love. And all of these are linked where you can find them. Everything that I use, my pencil sharpener, the Gamsol, these blending stumps, everything. So you can find things there if you want to find them all in one quick area. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start with a black pencil and I'm going to go in. Now it seems like this is going to be like, oh, you're going to lose all the detail that's drawn into the flower. But once I hit it with the Gamsol, it's going to thin that color out. All right. And then I'm going to take the Gamsol and take my blending stump. Now remember, don't just bloop in there and think that's enough. You got to hold it in there for a second and let the Gamsol get into the blending stump. Let it travel up the blending stump a little bit and really saturate the tip. And then I'm going to go right over the colored pencil and I'm going to, it kind of like, I want to say it melts it. It does kind of like melts the wax a little bit in the pencil. And then I'm just bringing that out so that it's nice and light. Okay, there we go. Is Tom listed under the things I love? That's such a cute comment.
I'm on a bunch of lists.
Yeah, he's on a different list.
The things I feed.
All right, so I am coloring tonight, but I promise it won't take as long as it did the other night. I know that was a very, very long coloring card. So you can see, once again, I'm coloring down close to where the petals meet the inside of the flower. And then I'm using my blending stump and working that color up toward the end of each petal. Now, this particular flower stamp set is a great stamp set if you are wanting to learn how to use Gamsol. It has a lot of petals, which is nice because you get enough practice in, but it's a really big flower. So it's not so hard that, and so small that it's tedious to try to get into the small spots. It's very easy to work with. And you can see how pretty that shading is working. I hope you're enjoying this. So Tom, while I color, I think you should be playing some guitar. Did you bring your guitar tonight?
I have my guitar.
Excellent. It's always nice to have the relaxing music. And again, this won't take super, super long, so I appreciate your patience with me, but I think you're going to like the way this card turns out. There's just something very striking about the grayscale in this card. And don't you feel like a card like this? I mean, bright, fun flowers are beautiful always. And they're always appropriate. It's true. I mean, pastels are always appropriate for sympathy and stuff. But this really does have kind of I don't know, a very peaceful feeling. At first I thought, ooh, like black and white cards and stuff, is that like morbid? But it really isn't. They really come out so pretty that I didn't get that feeling when I finished that black and white card I made several weeks ago on our live. So I feel like the Grayscale isn't going to be that much different. And you get a lot of gray. You can see I haven't dipped back in the Gamsol for a little while because there's enough on there. But once it starts to get squeaky like that, you definitely need to add more Gamsol. And luckily there's only one flower. And I might do the leaves a little bit differently. I might actually not color the leaves this way. I might just do them with a blending brush just to save some time. So we'll see how that works too. It's squeaking a little, but isn't that nice? And this is, I do like, if you're, let's say you're camping. You guys know Tom and I love to camp, right? So if you're camping or you're going to your child's baseball game or their swim meet or, some outdoor activity like that, and you like to keep your hands busy, even if you're doing something like going on a family picnic, you can stamp several flowers and just take 2 or 3 pencils and a little Gamsol and a blending stump and just do monochromatic flowers like this. You don't really need much. You don't need to bring your whole pencil pack and lug stamps and lug all that. And this will keep you busy for a while. And you'll have some beautiful flowers when you get home to cut out and turn into cards. So I enjoy that. Some people even do stuff like this, like if they take public transportation. I almost dipped my pencil in the Gamsol. Did you see that? Because talking and doing at the same time are tricky for Gina K.
Not good to have a cup of coffee on the close by.
No, that's not good. I remember my uncle did that. He and my dad were doing gold leafing on a lamp. My dad used to make lamps as a hobby. And they were gold leafing, and he had a dish of this glue that you dipped your brush in, and then you put the glue on the lamp, and then you would put the gold leafing on and pat it down. And he also had his coffee there. And my uncle kept dipping his paintbrush in my dad's coffee, and they didn't know it for a really long time. Oops. Oh, well. And the nice thing about this technique, too, one reason I love Gamsol is, I tell you guys this a lot. I'm not an artist, and I don't necessarily see the light very well, but just shading from the inside of the flower to the outside of the petal, it always looks like you know what you're doing. It always looks pretty.
What cardstock are you using?
I'm using the Gina K Designs 80-pound layering weight white. So nothing special. Well, I mean, I think the cardstock is special, but no like watercolor paper or anything like that. I really like to use just our plain white cardstock. It's very smooth. If you've never tried it, it's very, very smooth. And I think you'll really like how it works with the Gamsol and the colored pencils. It also works really well with Copics. And our 120-pound works really well with Copics too. There we go. All right, we're getting there. So are you guys liking the way this is coming out? You think this is pretty? Worth giving it a try? I know it's not for everybody, especially, those of you that love color. And I love color too, you know that. So many of my cards are so colorful. But sometimes it's just fun to stretch a little bit and try something new. Just working my way down with that. You can see I'm just going back and forth. And it's not like super smooth. It's got a texture to it when I color with colored pencils and Gamsol. It definitely has a texture. So, you don't have to worry about it looking perfectly smooth and blended like ink blending. It doesn't look like that, but I think that's what makes it look really good, especially when you're doing foliage like this, flowers, leaves, things like that. I mean, they're textured. They're not flat, so it gives you some really interesting texture. And you can see the black is perfect because you're getting tons of gray in there. And if you used gray, it might fade up to such a light color that you wouldn't even be able to see it. So I really enjoy the difference between that real dark spot down in the crook of the petal. I'm just making up words now. Tom, if I make up words that aren't words, will you promise you'll tell me?
I will tell you. Maybe I'll tell you. I don't know. Sometimes they're better words.
Tom was an English major in school. So I always have him look at things, but sometimes I don't, and then I have to go back and like spell check things 50 times. It's not my forte.
That's where I learned how to talk good.
You learned how to talk good? Is a very good student. I have that stuff from the blending stumps all over my black shirt now. I have to get tape and tape it off. All right, we're getting there. So I know this isn't, like I said, this isn't everybody's cup of tea as far as the kinds of videos that you guys like to watch. So I promise my next video is going to be a little more action-packed and not so, I don't want to say boring, because that, I don't think it's boring, especially if you're trying to learn. It's good to watch somebody else do it, but maybe I should just say it'll be a little different, not more of the same. How's that? Kinds of techniques do you guys want to see? I'm really interested in knowing what you guys like. Ink blending is always a winner. We always have fun when we do ink blending. But I'd love to hear your idea of what you guys have been wanting. It's always hard, you know. I've been on YouTube now for, I don't know. It's got to be 13, almost 14 years I've been on YouTube, and I've barely missed a week. And when I first started on YouTube, I did 3 videos a week. I did Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I know that's crazy, right? And then I went down to 2 days a week, Tuesday and Thursday. And I thought that was crazy, but here I am back to, 2 days a week. And it's actually different when you go live though, because, I'm not doing the editing and stuff, which is time consuming. But I just, there's barely a technique that I haven't done on my channel. So I like to try to find new twists and new ways to do things. But of course, sometimes it's just fun to get together and make a card and bring out the oldies but goodies. You can see I'm doing a couple petals at a time now because these are smaller. So I'm just filling in, 3, 4, 5 little ends there. Then I'm just taking my blending stump and working them out from the base real quickly. There's a couple bigger ones. So, what did you say? You can use Gamsol at any point in your process. Absolutely, you can. You can color the whole thing and then Gamsol the whole thing later. It's not like the pencil has to, be blended quickly or anything like that. You can always go back and blend, and you can go back and reblend too. If you don't like the way it looks, you can go back and add a little more colored pencil and add a little more Gamsol, and definitely. That's a great point. Thank you very much for that point. I really like the way it's coming out. I hope you guys do too. But like I said, this is a good stamp set to learn this technique on because there's a lot to work on, but it's not so small that it's overwhelming. Okay. Get a little more depth in this one there. We're getting there. And we're going to turn this into a very nice card. So there's two greetings in this stamp set. There is hello and there is friend. And so, like I said, I kind of feel like this would make a good sympathy card, although I want to give it away and I don't want to send you a sympathy card. So maybe I'll do something different, but you can always recreate this as a sympathy card. Because this one I'm giving away. I'm also giving away another little prize tonight because I knew this card would take a little bit longer because of the coloring. So I have another little prize to give away to you. So Tom, does anybody have any ideas for techniques in the comments? I know it's hard for you to like shift the comments while you're playing guitar. Tom, you need just one more arm. Can you grow one more arm real quick?
One more. Let's see. We've got the comments are just running away here.
Oh, they're running. Oh, so many.
Slim lines. Christmas holidays.
Oh, yes. Christmas cards are always a winner. Slim lines. Yep. Love the slim line.
Deco foil.
Oh, yeah. We should do some foiling. We haven't done foiling in a while. Now, here, I'm just going to randomly color. I'm not going to really take too much time here. I'm just going to randomly color some spots, and then I'm going to just run the Gamsol all around. And wherever it gets light, it gets light. Wherever it gets dark, it gets dark. I'm not going to worry about it. See that? So I don't have to like totally like go nuts trying to get every little spot in there. There we go. Isn't that pretty? Envelope art, Cheryl. Yes, that was really fun. I don't think I can do envelope art. Christina is amazing. Oh my word. I don't think I can do it, but it was so much fun. Okay, now I think what I'm going to do here is to save a little bit of time. I'm going to find my gray blending brush. Do I have a gray one? I had one. Let's see what color this is here. That's kind of like a purple. Oh my word. Where is my, here it is. The one with the gray. I should have thought about that. All right, so I'm going to use a little soft stone ink here. And where's my ink stand holder? Here we go. There we go. I always feel like I have to make myself suffer, and I don't. I can use my ink stand holder.
Patricia
ink pad
asked,
holder. What's that?
Patricia asked where she could see the dad's challenge.
Oh, that is on Corin Wiskman's YouTube channel. And that's KORENWISKMAN. So I'm just adding a little bit of gray here. Just a little bit, very lightly. Okay. Then I'm going to go back. That's very light. Then I'm going to go back with the black and just down at the end of each leaf, like this.
You guys do any crafting while you were away? Or?
Well, Jennifer's always stitching, so she did some stitching, and Kathy's always coloring, so she did coloring, and I talked. I did not. I was just all wrapped up in conversation, and yeah, I didn't. So what you could see me doing here is I just added a little bit of that gray shading, and then I'm just bringing the black up from the end of each petal onto the rest, I'm sorry, each leaf onto the rest of the leaf, just from the back.
More wreath building?
Oh yes, wreath building. Definitely wreath building. I have some ideas for some wreaths that you're going to see in the next couple weeks that I think you're going to love. I really do. Ooh, I like that. Do you like how vibrant that is? You're going to like this when you see this card up close in the pictures. Okay, we'll do a little bit more of this, and then we can cut these out. I don't even know what time it is. Oh, it's only 7:30-ish. So Tom and I always stay late here on Monday night at work now. And you should see the kinds of stuff that we're eating for dinner. I always bring like chicken breast deli meat, and I eat that with a can of green beans on the side and a half an apple. We need to figure out a way that we can do dinner better, Tom.
We do.
When we're here.
The rice and peanut butter thing tonight didn't work very well.
Yeah, sometimes the concoctions that you come up with for lunch and dinner at work are really interesting.
It's a good word.
Interesting, yeah. So once again, you can see how this looks pretty good, considering, you know, Gina K is not the Christina Warner when it comes to the blending of color. But this technique just makes you look good. And don't you love stuff that just makes you look good? You're thinking, oh, I can't do that. And then you try it and you're like, wow, that's not that hard. That makes me look good. I love it. Okay. Almost done and ready to die cut. Okay. So let's take a close-up look here, as if this isn't close enough for those of you on a big screen. This is probably like the size of your chair, but there you go. Carm, Rena is doing a new set for the Wreath Builder. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. And I'm really excited about that too. I can't wait to show you guys. Okay, so now let's do a little bit of die cutting. I'm going to take my ink out of my ink pad holder here. They're from the Inkstand Shop. It's the inkstandshop.com. It's Brianne's company. I really love it. Those are linked in my things I love too. You'll be able to find that there. Thank you so much, Tina. That would be awesome if you guys are watching on YouTube and you could give this video a thumbs up. That would be so helpful to me. I really appreciate it. Okay, and you can subscribe to my channel. You know, only about 40% of you that watch my videos are actually subscribed to my channel. Isn't that funny? I think that's kind of funny. So I'd love to have you subscribe. I mean, I'm still glad that you're here either way, but a lot of you just come in because of Instagram and Facebook links. It'd be great to have you as a subscriber. Okay, so I'm going to cut this out with the dies, the coordinating dies. And I'm not super worried about it being perfect because there's a lot of white on the ends of the petals anyway. I used a little washi tape to hold it down. Oh, Amy, you watch on Facebook more than on YouTube? Yeah, a lot of people do because they're on Facebook a lot. That's totally fine. Okay, so there's that big, beautiful flower. Yeah, I think a lot of people are on Facebook a lot, you know, just with doing other kinds of business and just chatting with their friends. And so it's easier to catch it over there. And that's totally fine. I'm just glad you're here. I don't care where you're watching it from. Do we have anybody here from Twitch? I don't know. Twitch is a new platform for me. I like it though. Now, what is this? How does this work? Oh, there we go. Okay. I like Twitch. It's interesting over there, but I don't think it's quite as artsy. I think it's a little bit more of a gaming site. A lot of people game live over there, and people watch them game. And I'm sure that that's fun for some people, but I don't know that I could sit and watch somebody else play a video game. I mean, maybe, you know, like if it's not my turn, but I guess maybe video gamers are like, how can somebody sit and watch somebody make a card? So I'm just, you know, I'm going to just stay in my lane because I don't really know. I don't really know what it's like. All right, so I've got 2 of the leaves and 1 more to go. I don't even know if I need to tape this one down. Well, I had better do something better than that. There we go. Okay. I guess we all have our interests because I can certainly watch people make cards all day long. I find it relaxing and I love to see their creative thought process. Yep, I know a lot of people aren't on Facebook either, so it's good to be on YouTube as well. I spend a lot of time on YouTube in my off time, just kind of listening to different sites and listening to people talk, card makers and stuff too. So, all right, so there are all my flowers and leaves. But if you're here on YouTube tonight, welcome. If you're coming in from Facebook, welcome, and from Twitch. All right, so which do you like better? Do you like the way the flower looks on this lighter gray, or do you like the way the flower looks on the darker gray? Boy, I don't know. I think the lighter gray. I think the darker gray is like takes away from the darkness of the flower. Like you see more of the flower here. Let's go with the lighter. Okay, it's kind of almost everybody's saying lighter. Okay, good. So we're all on the same page on this one. That's good. So I'm going to cut this out using the stitch triangle die from Master Layouts 5. And I'm just going to do a little chunk here because a lot of it's going to get covered. But if anything is showing, I just think it would be fun to see that. All right. There we go. Ooh. You liked both? Well, Gail, that is a help because, you know, this way I can't make the wrong decision for you, and I like that. All right, so we've got that triangle piece. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take a piece of cardstock, a piece of white cardstock here. Let me just get the die cutting machine out of the way for just a brief second. Probably should have done this earlier, but, you know, not every brain is organized, and mine is one of them. I'm going to use some soft stone ink, and I'm just going to do some quick wood graining. So I don't want this to be very dark, so I'm just going to take the end of my ink and I'm going to just swipe down like that. Almost that whitewash look, that very beachy look. And then I'll add some little planks of wood in there. Like that. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to cut this out using the Master Layouts 2 die set because we want the one with the stitching. Master Layouts 1 doesn't have any stitching and Master Layouts 2 does. So we'll use Master Layouts 2 for this. We're going to use the stitched rectangle and we're also going to use the plain one to cut a black panel. Surprise! I know you can't believe I'm going to use black, right? And the reason we want the stitching is because we want the stitching on the triangle to line up with this. It just all works really nicely together. Oh, Allison, it's the first time you've seen the wood graining? Doesn't it look like wood? It looks like whitewashed wood. So easy. There we go. So it's got that nice stitched little edge. And then we're going to, I'm glad that we used that color because look how nice these two pieces look together. It's just soft and subtle and it's just not distracting. I like that look. Okay, and then we're going to cut the plain one out of black. So I've got the plain rectangle for Master Layouts 2. Oh my gosh, giving you the wrong advice. Remember, I always put all of the stamps, all of the dies, and all of the colors that I use in the description on the YouTube video. There's lots of places to add stuff and links and things like that. So I do that over on YouTube. So even if you're watching on Facebook, you can pop over on YouTube to get some of those details. Okay, so let's get this out of here. these pieces over here. And now we're going to adhere this onto the black panel. So let me zoom in just a little bit so we're not 5,000 miles apart. It's better. So I'm using some of our adhesive here. And every once in a while, somebody will tell me they have trouble using our adhesive. And one thing I want you to do is just tilt your finger a little bit, like some of you have it at this angle where this is laying kind of flat against your cardstock. And you're kind of rubbing it this way. What you want to do is you want to tilt your hand forward. And you want to get more contact on that roller. Because what happens is if you don't get enough contact on the roller, you don't get enough pressure, then all of the dots don't release and they go back into the mechanism and they get stuck. So just tilt your cartridge a little forward and you should have much more luck getting the tape out. I really love our tape. It's very forgiving. If you mess up, you can pull it apart right away and move it. You can't do that with the solid tape runners. And also, if you get it somewhere that you don't want it, you can just rub it off or remove it with the mono sand eraser. So it's really nice. Okay, so now we're going to add this little panel in there at the top just to give it a little bit of interest. Okay, and we're going to line it up so the stitching all lines up. And it's very easy to do because when I designed these dies, I made sure that I had the same amount of border for the stitching as on all the dies, so that when you line them up this way, it's very even. It just continues on. You can see that. Okay, so there we go. Now, we're going to need a greeting. My goal here is to add the big flower here, kind of on the line, and then have some leaves kind of coming down and out like that, and then have a leaf kind of over here like that. And this way we get to see more of the dots up there. And then I want to put the greeting down here. So we could do hello, or we could do friend. And I really like praying for you, friend, but I think because I'm going to send this to somebody out there, I'm going to stamp friend and I'm going to say, hello, sweet friend, because you guys are my sweet friends and I love you. All right, I'm going to use my Misty for this because after all that work, I think there's a good chance I could have a slight heart attack if anything happens to this card. And these flowers are not attached. I'm just kind of holding them in place here. I'm going to just put this down here. The reason why I'm leaving them in place is I want to make sure that where I put friend isn't going to be where my flowers need to be. And that can always get moved up a little bit. Okay, and I want it to be straight. So I kind of am looking at it a couple different ways here. I can drop it down just a little bit because the hello sweet is going to go on top. If I was putting a strip sentiment down here, then I might do something different. But let's see. Hello, sweet friend. Hello, my friend. Okay, I think we'll just do hello, sweet, and we'll stick with the plan. Maybe I'll move it over just a little that way. Okay. You guys liking this layout so far? I think it's nice. Okay. And then I'm going to use the black onyx ink. Ooh, I just got that all over everything. So let's just clean that up. Look what I just did. I stamped on myself. Okay, I'm nervous about this one. Okay. All right, here we go. rub my little Chucky tool over it just to be safe. There we go. Okay, we got friend. Now we're gonna do the top greeting. And I'm almost tempted to do it with a block. Oh my gosh. Should I do it with a block? I'm going to do it with a block, I think. I'm already panicking. I'm not doing it with a block. I'm going to put it right there. Okay. Does that look straight? Can I get my head in the way for a second? I'm really sorry about that, but I think I need to.
Hey, that might be a good way to get guys into stamping.
What?
Tattoos.
Oh, like that? That really does kind of look like a tattoo, doesn't it?
Looks kind of fun.
Tom, you need to get the Iron Man tattoo. I don't know if you guys know, but Tom completed the Iron Man. He did a full Iron Man and a half Iron Man.
That's old news.
But you still haven't gotten the tattoo.
Well, I'm thinking maybe with some kind of
Flower?
some kind of I don't know. Maybe a flower, yeah.
Maybe. All right, so we've got hello, sweet friend there.
My whole back.
Hey, why not?
I don't know. I kind of like that beach scene from the.
You want a beach scene on your back?
Sure.
All right. You want me? Why don't I just stamp a beach scene on your back, and then you can like try it out and see how you like it. That sound like a good plan?
And before you know it, you'd be doing embossing powder on my back.
I would not do embossing powder.
Raising a bubble with the heat gun.
Okay, so I'm going to add this to my piece of Stormy Sky cardstock. This is total grayscale, but I love the feel of this card. I really do. All right, and then once again, I'm going to lay it out. We could put the flower a little straighter, maybe. Although I did kind of like it a little on an angle. This coming out from here. I think that this one is better down here. And then this one coming from up here like that. And then this one over here kind of blocking the seam a little bit. Okay.
Wow.
So that's kind of pretty, huh? I like the threes. I don't think I'd like a fourth one up there. All right, so now my next thing that I'm going to do here, and this is the way I like to put these things together. Pardon me. I like to, sorry, I had to get something out of my drawer. I like to tape down the leaves first. So I'm going to hold this flower down where it is. And then I'm going to slip the leaves under there where I want them. So I know they look nice. Like that. And then this one.
The girls got moved, Kathleen. Thank you for asking.
Oh, yes. They are moved into their new place. And they're loving it.
We had quite a spiritual moment moving that sofa up that circa 1945 stairwell.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I wasn't there. Was I there?
You were not there.
No, I wasn't there. I'm going to tape this down.
But we did it.
That's great. Okay, so now I've got my leaves in place. Now I can pop up my flower. I always like to have a little bit of dimension in my flower. So this is a big flower, so I'm going to use a few of these foam squares on the back. 3 should do it. I know some of you are probably like, okay, next card needs full rainbow because this is so gray. But it's still pretty. Okay, so we'll find that exact spot where we like it, and there we go. And that just gives you that little bit of dimension. So there's my finished card.
Ooh.
I hope you like it. It was a lot of fun. Very, very much fun. Okay. Well, we've got some things to give away. The first thing we're going to give away is the card. Let's give away the card, Tom. Who gets this card tonight? So Tom needs a minute because he's scrolling through all the comments. And I just wanted to say, thank you all so much for being here while Tom's taking care of that. I really appreciate it. We have a full house here tonight, and it's really exciting to see all of you guys. So thank you for popping in on. I did see Twitch. Somebody's watching on Twitch. I saw a comment from Twitch, from YouTube, and from Facebook. So it is great to see all of you. All right. So who gets the card, Tom? Do we know yet?
All right. The card winner tonight is Jeanette Patterson.
Yay, Jeanette. Congratulations. You are the winner of my Grayscale card. All right. So because I could only get one card done tonight, it was a little bit more of a complicated card. I decided to give away one of my favorite paper packs that I've used recently in a card. This is the Made with Love pattern paper pack. So we're going to give this away to somebody tonight too, since we don't have two cards. So who are we going to give this to?
Okay, this is going to Joyce Thompson.
Hey, congratulations, Joyce. All right, so for those two ladies who won tonight's prizes, the card and the pattern paper pack, all you have to do is send your name, address, and what prize you won to our customer service department, and it's info@GinaKDesigns.com. I will also put that in the description here on YouTube, and I'll put your names just in case anybody, had to run to the bathroom and then they came back and they're like, oh no, I missed the winners. We'll have that listed in the description on YouTube. All right, you guys. Well, this has been a fantastic, fun night for me. I'm so glad to see all of you. We will be back on Thursday for another lunchtime live. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy. I love you all so very much. Mwah! And we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.